recorded for our YouTube channel. So people who are lost, not knowing which direction to make effort, they can benefit from these stories too. Okay, so today we are on number 13. Tell yourself you have just one arrow, the art of focusing the mind. As the youth standing in the archery ground faced the target with a pair of arrows, the grizzled old master beside him said bluntly, "You're still a beginner, make it one." To hold 2 arrows was customary. Why should he, a beginner, use only one? The advice made no sense. Despite his misgivings, the youth obediently cast 1 arrow aside. Then the thought struck him, now I have only one. He focused all his mind on it and successfully hit the target. The onlookers erupted in applause, surprised to see one so inexperienced perform so well. Still, the archer puzzled over the advice he had been given. Finally, he sought out the master and asked him for an explanation. "It's simple," said the old man with a twinkle. "Knowing you have a second arrow to fall back on prevents you from focusing on the first. Your guard goes down. Unless you are prepared to stake all on a single arrow, you could have dozens and it wouldn't be enough. The idea that if this doesn't work, I can always try again next time interferes with concentration. It keeps us from devoting ourselves heart and soul to the task at hand, the way the medieval French philosopher Guillaume Budet, 1467 to 1540, devoted himself to his studies. He left all the household affairs to his wife and did nothing but study. Even when the houseboy ran in and cried, "The house next door is on fire! Hurry, you must escape!" Budet never looked up. He said only, "My wife takes care of everything. Go talk to her." It sounds ridiculous, and yet to be able to immerse oneself so wholeheartedly in a pursuit is admirable. To be absorbed in one thing to the exclusion of all else, focused solely on the goal, makes any task achievable. Okay, very good. So this story, some of these stories, they focus more on helping us cultivate compassion, like the one we read yesterday, and some of them help us cultivate wisdom. This one is more about wisdom. So it can be a little bit harder, like a koan. We need to contemplate and think about it throughout the day. And yeah, little by little, the answer comes to us. So yeah, of course, when we are younger, we have a hard time maybe for some of us to focus the mind. Yeah, it has its merit, but as we become more settled or we become more purpose-driven and we want to accomplish something meaningful and impactful. So if we always think that, oh, okay, if I can't do it this time, I'll try again next time. This mindset, it's kind of like procrastination, always relying on the next arrow or tomorrow. In Buddhism, that's not a good mindset because it interferes with giving it all now. And now is all we have, actually. The past is already gone. The future hasn't arrived yet. Now is the only thing we have. So there is something very profound about the moment now. In Buddhism, it's called Ichinen, Ichinen. It's faster than a nanosecond before you can really utter the word now, which takes a while to say it. So it's actually a very important concept in Buddhism. And however, we have been conditioned, not just in this life, like for a long time, we always count on tomorrow or next moment, next chance, next opportunity. And so we miss out a lot of these nows here. So in this story, the young man, well, something great about him was that he trusted his teacher. So the advice he received from his teacher, he was able to follow it very sincerely. He cast one arrow aside. So that's one thing we learn. If there is no trust between the student and teacher, so it's hard to learn something. And let's see. Yeah. And so the reason we cannot pour heart and soul into the given task is that we don't really understand this moment here and now is all we have. And that means we don't understand the impermanence of life, the inevitability of change, and how things can change drastically. Sometimes change is very small, so it helps us grow, but also that's a one-way street. We cannot go back. So as we listen to the Dharma more and more, we come to understand impermanence more deeply, and then we can focus solely on our goal, long cherished goal, especially the happiness that never abandons us, and that makes any task achievable. With that mindset, anything becomes achievable. So good job for being here, learning about the Dharma together, and yeah, have a wonderful Tuesday. Bye.
Thank you, Beta.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
And thank you.